difficult for unreasonable reasons. And so she was actually giving me financing to start my business. So that's what I would look for. I would look for a market. If you have a market, that means you got a customer out there. And then you learn that customer, learn how to serve that customer. And then you get the capital and, the contractors and labor you need to create whatever it is you're seeking to create. And then the cash part, you can work on over time, right? You can build off of that.
That's good. I love it. One thing I was thinking about that question for myself recently, right? As we making some moves in the background. One thing that totally agree with everything you said. One thing I looked at too that I would add, was like, man, if I could go back and I would do one thing, anything new I want to do, I wanted to have some level of recurring revenue in it. Because I just look back, it was so many things that we sold where they was so transactional. You know what I mean? Like especially with Black American kids, like we had a ton of people, but it was like they bought this one movie, they loved it, and they just out into the darkness. You know what I mean? And can't get them back.
I think the recurring revenue models are very strong. I mean that's really the big win, I think, in business. But also those one-offs can be beneficial if the price point is one where, so let's say you got a choice between having a customer that pays you $20 a month versus one that pays $300 one time. Well, maybe the $300 customer is more valuable anyway, economically speaking. So there's a lot of ways to skin that cat. But I agree with you, though. I think that the recurring revenue models are the strongest. And there's a science behind everything. One of the things I respected about you the most, Lamar, is, and just so everybody knows, I have a tremendous amount of appreciation and love and respect for this brother, because we had one conversation in 2013, and that conversation literally made a huge difference economically that year right away. And that really actually led me to buy into what I perceive to be Lamar's model for becoming the genius that he is that Lamar actually took the time and put the resources into getting the training on truly how to make money in a digital age. A lot of us will go to college or whatever. We'll spend $100,000 going to college, and then the rest we just kind of wing it and try to figure it out. And he actually took formal classes. And before I met Lamar, I used to think it was crazy to spend $5,000, $10,000 on a class. I'd be like, why would you do that? But if you take a $10,000 class that helps you make an extra $80,000, $100,000 a year, then that's a hell of an ROI, And so I think mindset has to shift. I really think this is the university of the future.
Good stuff. I got a question for the audience. Gabrielle said, I would like to know where you can find opportunities to be an investor in different companies. It's a goal of mine in the future.
Well, I think that one thing you could do organically is if you have an investment club and you pull together capital and you invite people to submit their business ideas. There's always people that will submit good ideas and good projects to people that actually have capital. But then also there's a lot of websites online. I don't have any of the, maybe Fundrise and stuff like that where they actually have entrepreneurs with their best ideas on the platform that, where you can invest right there in the idea. And then also the other thing, honestly, is, I'm going to tell you, when I go buy a nice little chunk of stock in a company, I feel like I'm kind of an investor. At that point, I'm getting all the little letters and I get to vote and what's going to happen next. And when the company makes money, I make money. That's a good feeling, right? So I wouldn't be tempted to totally overthink it. I think that where the organic stuff is a little better, like meaning having the investment club where you make the direct deal with the entrepreneur and stuff. That the benefit of that is you can get it on great projects on the ground floor and really, really flip and quadruple your money. But the downside, though, is that there's a lot of human hand-to-hand combat, so to speak, that can be a little bit complex, later on down the line, right? Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. And that's why I say when you're doing close, intimate business with other people, and I think the word intimacy might be a good word for that. I never thought of the term economic intimacy that deep. I thought about it a little bit, but now I'm thinking about it in a different way because my fiance is a couples counselor. But economic intimacy might be when you are investing directly in somebody's business and you have to talk to them on the phone and deal with them as a human being. And you don't want to be intimate with everybody because some people got STDs, like literally financial STDs where they'll bring all kinds of drama and chaos into your life and that you didn't want. And you'd be like, this money ain't even worth it. The headaches are not worth it. So if you don't feel the need to be economically intimate with someone, which goes far beyond just how much money you make, then maybe just buying shares of stock. Like I can open up my phone and get on an app and say, you know what, I want to be an investor in Disney tomorrow because I like Disney. And they don't even have to know me. We ain't got to talk to each other, but I'm still connected, right, to what they're doing.
I love it. I love it. Wanda said, what do you find is the best way to evaluate different investment types?
Let's see here. Types, you mean like just an investment that's in front of me, like whether I think it's a good investment or a bad one?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I tend to over time, I think losing money will make you very skeptical. And so I tend to not believe anything is going to be great until I actually see some proof of concept. You know, like because every day when I'm going and traveling and speaking and stuff, literally every day somebody will come to me with a business idea that they say is going to change the whole Black community. It's going to make $1 billion. Lamar knows what I'm talking about, right? And it's not that I don't believe it, but I just don't. You have to show me, right? So what I would say is when you have a business idea that's actually generated cash flow, and you see where, like, so somebody's like, okay, this business made 20 grand last year, but if we get some more resources in place, we could turn that 20 into 200 or whatever. That has a little more credibility than someone who just has a great idea. Anybody can have a great idea. Ideas are a dime a dozen. It's not so much the quality of the idea. It's really the quality of the execution of the idea. If you give me a mediocre idea that's well executed, I would take that over a great idea that's poorly executed any day of the week. And then also maybe experience. If you're talking about an entrepreneur that's bringing something to me, I'm going to look at. My question is, how dedicated are you to this idea? So for example, you have some entrepreneurs that are as committed to their business as a mother is to a child. And I know that a mother is not going to give up on her baby, no matter even whether the baby is sick or the baby's ugly. The baby could grow up and become a mass murderer, and your mom will never give up on you. I like entrepreneurs who have that kind of dedication to the business, and that's been shown over. So if you say, look, here's the thing I've been working on for the last 5 years, every single day of the week, and giving my life to this, then that gives me faith and confidence that you're really going to dig into this. Like I said, that new edition question I was asking earlier, can you stand the rain? Meaning, are you committed to this? Are you serious about this? Because you'll have talented people that maybe can't be or don't want to be committed to something, and that might cause it to fail. So commitment's a huge part of determining whether I want to go into business with you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Adrian said, what is the ideal dream team of resources of people you should have to get your family wealth strategy created and implemented? So they heard what you said. They're ready to get going. Like what's the dream team of resources they need?
Okay. I think accountant, lawyer, financial advisor, that might be a good start to really kind of get stuff together. And I have my financial advisor talk to my accountants on a regular basis so they can kind of sync up information to kind of know what the whole economic picture kind of looks like. I think that's a good start.
Awesome. I said we got a few questions for people asking about getting their kids started in entrepreneurship. The kids have said, hey, they want to be entrepreneurs, they're interested in it, and they want to know kind of like what do you do to kind of move them along that way or to get them in that way. And I'll add the second part to it. Like, is it different things you do based on how old they are? Like young kids versus tweens versus teens, or like, but it, pretty much be the same any level?
Well, in our house, we have an 11-year-old, a 13-year-old who's between us. Don't tell anybody I said this, but she's the smartest one, like in terms of IQ. Not that the other two are not smart, but she just kind of, is really out there. And then the oldest is about to go to college, and you're right. It's something I have found that I have to do very subtly because you keep pushing it on them in a direct way. Kids tend to run away from things their parents tell them to do. But they are influenced by that, obviously. So what we tend to do is I don't really ever talk to them about getting a job. I figure they're going to figure that out on their own. They're going to learn that pathway later. I just talk to them about, my business and what my life is like every day. And so every child is different, right? So I think paying attention, as parents, we're in tune with what our children love to do. So our 17-year-old, he loves cars. He loves, he wants to study engineering, and he loves Elon Musk. So when Elon Musk became the richest person on earth by using entrepreneurship and technology to do that, I pretty much kind of subtly talk to him about it and say, well, this is how he did it, right? In case you're interested, right? And or see that $250,000 Ferrari that you were looking at. Well, employees can't usually get cars like that. Entrepreneurs can. And it's not because I'm telling him what to do, but it's like sort of making sure he has all the tools available so that when he does wake up and say, I really want to do that, he'll have what he needs. Whereas the little one is into entertainment, dancing, TikTok videos, and all that. So with her, we have conversations about being content creators, and I say, look, I know you want to be like a Disney star. Like she loves all the little Disney stars. I said, well, yeah, well, there are people that actually make movies, and because they funded the movie, they can make themselves the star of the movie. Like Lamar, that. That's how you and I met. You did Generation One, and I love being in that. And she was intrigued by that, right? So I think that helping people understand how financial literacy and economic intelligence can help them to achieve the quality of life that they're seeking based on what they're interested in is really what goes a long way. And also we do have a Black business school for children if people are interested. But I'll let y'all decide if you want me to talk about that at all. But basically, I will tell you this: I believe you should start talking to kids about wealth even before they learn how to talk. Like I think if you're talking about wealth and economics and ownership early and just make that part of your family culture, it's not just a skill, it's a lifestyle. Just like hip hop. Hip hop is a lifestyle. It's not just like going like I took a class on rapping today. Now I'm the best rapper in the world. No, you have to live the culture, right? And so I encourage you to create a culture of wealth and entrepreneurship and whatever it is that you want your kids to have, and do it early, because in the world you live in a capitalist society. I'm not telling you to be a capitalist. I'm not really a capitalist, to be honest with you, but I believe in free enterprise, and I understand you have to compete with capitalists. And capitalism is an ugly system. At its worst, it can create slavery. It is very much built on survival of the fittest. The people that are most prepared win. The people that are most better capitalized win. The people that have the most knowledge and information win. So make sure your children have everything they need in order to win. That's very important.
Hey, you made me think about something, right? As you're talking about your kids, college, right? Because I know you got great insight on college. Not only do you have thoughts about it, now you built the Black Business School, which essentially is a business college for folks, whether they already came in with degrees or not. You were a professor at Syracuse University, so you got a lot of perspective. Like what are you telling your kids about college? I'm curious.
I tell them that, well, remember their mother's a college professor too, so and she still teaches at a university. So we don't like talk down on college.
Yeah.
I just tell them like college is fun, and you should go. It's going to be fun for you if that's what you want to do. If you didn't want to do it, then I would say, okay, well here's something else you can do. Like, okay, let's go to traffic sales and profit. I'm gonna get you a membership, and we'll just get you started on that track. But you got the rest of your life to figure out how to make money. So why not go to college for 4 years and have fun? And but I let them know like that's the beginning. And if you're talking about trying to climb the economic ladder, or really you're not just climbing the economic ladder, you're climbing the ladder of freedom, right? That's what you're trying to do. You're not just trying to make a lot of money. You're really trying to be free, and you're trying to be happy, and you're trying to have options. That's what money and wealth and all this other stuff does for you. So I just let them know that college is the beginning of that. That college will teach you how to get a job and all that stuff. But if you really want to learn how to have to have the absolute best that life has to offer, at least economically speaking, and otherwise, it's a much deeper journey than that, right? It comes down to learning those extra skills that you don't learn in college, like the pillars of wealth and all that stuff, and investing and all that. But then also even going deeper to even knowledge of self, so that you know how to go about making your money. All money ain't good money. We know, right? All money, all opportunity is not good opportunity. Being next to a millionaire can be wonderful, or it can ruin your life. And so really that knowledge of self piece, in terms of knowing who you are, what makes you happy, and what your value system is, that allows you to pursue the benefits of money without becoming a financial addict. Because when you become an addict, then you're just a high paid slave at that point.
That's good. That's good. We had a question. I think it was, let me see, was it Devin asked that? Devin said, what sectors do you think are good to invest in that will be good in the future?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, my cannabis stocks did real well when Biden got elected. And my little secret prediction is I believe Kamala Harris is gonna be president in the next 2 to 3 years. But I don't know how people feel about that, but my gut instinct is telling me that Biden won't be able to finish the term. and that Kamala will be president. And that's important to me because I know Kamala wants to legalize cannabis. It's going to get legalized at some point. It's only a matter of time. So I've got my money there, just kind of waiting for for them to start talking about it. Um, and then also other sectors, anything related to like green energy, electric vehicles and stuff like that does really well. There's a lady named Kathy Wood who runs something called ARK Investing, and I'm real impressed with her. So I just, invested in a lot of her funds. I was like, okay, this lady, because she was one of those people that predicted Tesla was going to go crazy. And so those are some areas that come to mind.
Good stuff. Let me finish writing her name down. Y'all think I'm not here for my own nuggets too, right? Y'all crazy.
Kathy Wood. Somebody said, what's her name? Kathy Wood. That's her name. Yeah, I don't even know anything about this lady. She's just a white lady on TV, but I know she knows what she's talking about. And she's actually one of the hottest investors out there in terms of like how much money she made this year. And I just like her style. And I think she's one of the best. So, and her company is ARK, ARK. So if you look up the ARK, if you look up that first three letters, then you'll see her different funds that pop up.
Awesome. I got one more about insurance, right? They want to know what's the best. What do you think is the best life insurance? Is whole life insurance a good wealth building tool?
Whole life insurance is better than nothing, right? So if you compare, that wealth building tool to no wealth building tool, then yes, it can be effective. It's not the best wealth building tool. So I don't do whole life insurance. I do term. I just do term because I want to take that extra money. Because remember, whole life policies cost a lot more money. So I just take that extra money and I invest it because I believe I can invest it better than they can. And I don't have to pay any fees to anybody or anything like that. But the way I would look at it is, it's like if somebody says, do you want to drive down the street in a 1999 Toyota Corolla? Well, it depends on what you're comparing it to. If you're comparing it to walking or riding a bike, then yeah, But if I got a Ferrari or if I have a jet airplane, then a Corolla is going to slow me down, right? So the question is, what are you comparing it to when you're talking about using that as an investment vehicle? If you want to know what I think is optimal, I think what's optimal is really, really embracing economic intelligence as a fundamental part of your life. So the different opportunities that are out there. Like, so for example, I've been doing a stock options masterclass, and a lot of people don't even know that the amount of money that you make on, say, things like rental properties is nothing compared to the amount of money you can make by selling call options on stock that you own. That's literally how my family makes a lot of our money. We pick certain. There's a way you pick the stocks that are going to have the best options premium, and I sell the options every month, and that's how I make money. And so so the way I'm able to make more money is because I just know these things. I study these things, right? So I encourage you to keep studying, and then you can find out where the best deals are, and then also you can find the situations that you really want to be in. Like when you talk about real estate, I knew I wanted to be in real estate, but I did not want to be a landlord. That impedes your quality of life. So as you build your wealth, just always factor those other things in. Remember, you got a lot of things in your life that are far more important than money. You got your health, you got your relationships, your free time, your peace of mind. Don't disrupt all those things just because you're chasing money. Make sure that when you add money to your life portfolio, that it's correlated properly with all the other things that matter to you. And that's how you can really become truly wealthy, in my view.
Awesome. I love it. All right, y'all. This was phenomenal. If you got a lot of great value from Dr. Boyce, do me a favor, drop some